Peace, everyone. This is God Almighty, you divine for real Allah. It's God for real. A lot of y'all know me as divine. And so I want to talk a little bit about the Minneapolis protests and what was going on as a person who was there. I mean, I wasn't there the whole time. However, I was there long enough to gather enough intelligence and information and details to understand what's going on with the damage and stuff in the uprising. So what happened was, originally it was just in a protest, and people were out there peacefully assembled. They had their signs, they had their messages, they had their chants, and the police came and they had rubber bullets. They were on top of a building and hit a man in the head with a rubber bullet, and they had shot a lady in the face with a beanbag with the shotgun. Well, but the lady got shot in the face with a beanbag after the crazy stuff happened. But so what happened was the dude got shot in the head with a rubber bullet. It cracked his skull. People were rendering aid to him for a while. That's when I seen it on the live. I was at home, and then that's why I said, hey, you know what? I'm going down there. They shooting people with rubber bullets. They shot that man in the head. Why would they shoot that man in the head with a rubber bullet? You know, rubber bullets are not even meant to kill people. You're supposed to just wound people and, drop them, maybe hit them in the leg or something. They shot that man in the head. The police shot that man in the head and killed him for protesting peacefully. And so after that, that's why people started burning things down. That's why people started burning things down to the ground. And the police, they started spraying, not spraying pepper gas or tear gas, but they were shooting grenade launcher rounds with the canisters of gas, and they were shooting grenade launcher rounds with flashbangs. And so they were gassing people and they were hitting them with flashbangs. And they were shooting people with the rubber bullets too. Like, women were getting hit. A lot of women were getting hit. What happened after that? So after they started hitting the people with flashbangs and stuff like that, people ran after they got gas in their eyes and in their nose and their mouth. They ran across the street to the Target. They ran across. It's a ways through the parking lot from the police precinct, from the 3rd precinct to the Target. So people ran from the precinct, from the location to across the parking lot to Target, and Target locked the people out, and subsequently closed. Like right after that, it was about 5:30 in the middle of the day. Target closed early. They didn't let the people in and they didn't let the citizens be customers. So it was almost like they were forcing these people to disperse. They were trying to pretty much make these people disperse. Like, no, I'm not going to sell you anything. And we're going to make it where you have to just deal with this gas in your eyes until you make it home. And it's pretty much where they made it where people were supposed to pretty much just go home, according to that. And so people ran over to Cubs. Cubs did the same thing. And I'm assuming people ran over to Aldi's, and Aldi's did the same thing because people looted all 3 of those places. So by the time I got there, they were already looting Target. And they were like, yo, we're going to burn this down anyway. So you might as well just take whatever you can take, because all of this stuff is going to get burned and thrown away, right? So a lot of people came in there and started taking stuff because it was going to get burned down anyway. And so that's where it was. That's what happened with all of the stores. They like, we're going to burn it down. So take what you want, take what you need, because we're going to burn. Take what you could carry, take what you want, take what you need, because we're going to burn all of this stuff anyway. Because like we came to peacefully protest. a murder at the hands of police, and then what do? They go and murder somebody that's protesting. So that's that's where it came, where people were like, okay, you know what? We just tried peacefully doing this, and we got killed peacefully doing this. So you know what? Let's up it a notch. Let's show them some damage then. Let's do some damage then. But let's do some damage to their world. Let's bring their world down, because let's hit a reset button. Because we've been asking for a reset button, however they made it against the law for the way that you legally and lawfully and orderly hit the reset button. They pretty much written themselves into power, through law. So people are using the power of the people, and they're pretty much taking the world back. It could look like an anarchy to someone who's scared, but yeah, it's just an uprising. It's not a riot. A riot is like when your favorite team loses a game, or if, something like that, like your favorite team loses and then you're just angry at your favorite team losing. No, this is something that's been going on for a long time. People have been peacefully begging. People have been complaining. People have been trying to explain. People have been complaining. People have been explaining. For a long time, people have been more patient than what they needed to be while explaining. People have been like doing education. People have been providing education that is not even their job to be doing, providing education that's not even their responsibility to people who should have have their own interest in educating themselves, which I'm talking about white folks when they don't educate themselves about what black people are going through. So the reason why they wouldn't even understand what we go through is because the first part is they don't even listen to understand what we're going through. They listen to hear what we're going through and try to tell us that it's something else. So I was on the phone with this lady, and I was telling her, like, I was on the phone with one of these dispatch ladies for the sheriffs, because I was profiled. The sheriff literally like followed me behind my car. Like, it was all kind of people on the road, but out of all the people, you see me with my window down, I'm relaxing, listening to my music, just driving down the street. You want to tell me, like, it's a car, like I'm like the third car back in at a stoplight, and I'm on the right lane. It's a 2-lane. I'm on the right lane. It's a 4-lane, so we on one way. We're on one way, and it's a 2-way road, and on both lanes it has 2 lanes, so it's a 4-lane. So I'm all the way to my right side, and the sheriff, he's in the lane to my left, and instead of pulling all the way forward to the stoplight, he literally sits behind my car in that lane and holds up the people behind him, creating an extremely awkward situation. So I just keep driving as normal. I keep driving down the street. I don't turn. I'm going to the gas station. My truck is about to run out of gas. So I keep straight. I'm going to the gas station. I pull forward again to this. We stop at a stoplight. And so we stop at a stoplight. He does the same exact thing at the next stoplight. He just stays at my tail. And I'm like, what? Like, come on, man. So I look back at him, and he look at me like I did something wrong. So I'm looking at him like, bro, like, you know how if you open the door, you do a gesture to, you put your hand out and do a gesture like for somebody to go before you. And that's what I did. I did the gesture, like all this space right here, bro. Like I did the hand gesture so good that I'm sure that he understood the I didn't even have to say anything. He like, yeah, I know. I'm at this point. He know. At this point, he's like, damn, this man is just like making it clear that he's making it clear with everyone that this is a extremely awkward situation. This black guy in this truck, the only black person out of all of these cars, I'm fucking with him. And clearly I'm just like on his ass. For what though? I didn't do anything. I didn't speed. I didn't, didn't do anything. Just was driving down the street at the regular speed limit. I wasn't even going that fast. I was just going regular speed limit. And so, I called the lady, or I called 911. And I was like, hey, you have a sheriff out here she was like, 911 emergency, what's your emergency? I'm like, okay, yeah, my emergency is that you have a sheriff out here racially profiling people. Like, he just racially profiled me. You know, out of all the people, I told her, I explained to her what happened. And so she was like, and she said something like, well, did you get pulled over? And I was like, well, no, I didn't get pulled over, but he followed me all the way. And I'm sure he ran my tags. If he could pull me over, he would have. But or if he did have any kind of reason he could pull me over, he would have. And so I was like, you need to get him off the road. And she said something like, well, that's not going to happen. So I said, well, okay. It's nothing for me to get my people. And she was like, oh, well, sounds like you're making a threat. I said, no, I'm not making a threat. Like, a threat is like, oh, I'll do this to you, I'll do that to you. I'm just saying, hey, you see what's going on today. You see what's been going on the last 2 or 3 days. You know, they need to come over there and, set y'all right, set y'all straight. Because y'all supposed to be serving us. And y'all making people feel like we have to do this for you to listen. Y'all making us feel like we have to get unruly and wild and untamed and unkempt. We have to act like that. Because none of us are unruly, wild, untamed, unkempt. Everybody is civilized people, righteous, have a conscience and morals, have a heart. But when you treat us like you don't have one, that's when we gotta act like we don't have one. Because what I look like peacefully protesting after you just killed a peaceful protester, and then we still gonna be peaceful? You just killed that man. You just used violence towards peaceful people. So now why not respond with violence if that's how they're going to respond to your grievance? Because I'm not going to go back home like a little sheep. But got to make enough videos so I can just go live. But I just wanted to talk about the protest in Minneapolis. It's an uprising. It's not a riot. There's a difference. A riot is like just sitting there. You came with the idea of just tearing stuff up. No, that was not what happened. People were peacefully protesting, and then they got attacked, and then they attacked back. Peace. Divine.